Keller Townsend, and this is a Forward Research Report. Welcome, shipmates on HMS Gaia, as we hurtle through the galaxy at speeds of over 47,000 kilometers an hour. This video is The Big Lie, number 3, a lemma to Big Lie number 1 and 2. Just to review the big lies, this big lie number 3 is on the U.S. energy situation and the increases in petroleum production and natural gas production from fracking. First big lie, just to review, was voting has no influence on governance, all processes of interaction and decision making. Lobbyists from large organizations such as the U.S. Chamber of Commerce draft legislation, determine taxation, enforcement of laws and regulations, and administration. Big lie number 2, infinite growth on a finite planet. And by that I mean material growth of goods produced, material objects produced. And that since 1972, that was the peak in caloric intake, that is, food calories consumed. In 2002 was the peak in sweet conventional oil. We've been producing more fuel since then, but the quality, the energy returned on energy investment has been on a decline since then. I am what is called a physiocrat, and that the way I look at it as the original political economists of France and Scotland and England, Germany region of Western Europe, was that all wealth ultimately comes from the land, and that you can grow wood for lumber, you can mine iron ore to manufacture tools, and you can get fuel from the land. So ultimately all wealth is determined by controlling the land. The series of slides that you will be seeing across the screen, and you can pause them if any of these slides are of particular interest of you. The United States, in my biased opinion, has the United States of America Energy Information Administration, the EIA, and it is at eia.gov, has excellent resources when it comes to giving you the data on the U.S. economy and its energy situation. One of the slides shows that 8% of the energy of the United States is produced by renewables, solar, turbine windmills, and solar voltaics. They are not the most populous states, but there is progress. I don't want to be thoroughly negative. I just want to be realistic. So pause the video if you see any of the graphics that you find interesting. The U.S. has been able to increase substantially its production of oil. The liquid oil produced, the natural gas produced, is generally not been at a profitable level. It would be very much a losing enterprise if the destruction to the infrastructure and to the innocent third parties that are neighbors to where the drilling and extraction of oil and natural gas is produced, as water, groundwater, aquifers are poisoned, land that could be used productively to produce fiber and food and even fuel is being polluted. And the infrastructure, it takes thousands and thousands of semi-tractor trailer trucks going down rural roads, and the roads generally have to be maintained by the states where the drilling is being done at the state level and at the municipal level, and they don't have the resources to make all the repairs. Having these large heavy trucks queued up and sometimes going at relatively high speeds down their country roads is tearing up the roads, and it's putting strain and destroying infrastructure that the Civil Engineers Society has rated a D and on a negative trend. So we're actually starting to have infrastructure in the United States fail, as well as infrastructure kind of reverting back to nature. So when you take into account the pollution costs, that they're protected from lawsuits, because let's say an aquifer that's being used by a family that has an organic farm, and their aquifer water has been poisoned by these fluids that they're using for tight oil and natural gas mining. Those people won't get any type of help in the courts. That's part of the legislation protecting the fracking industry. If they had to pay out all the lawsuits for all the damage that they do to the properties that they aren't owning and leasing, and all the infrastructure that they're destroying, they're already losing money at these prices, and they would be losing much more. So that's big lie number 3, a lemma, and the place to go if you want to do your own investigation and see good evidence and data is the Energy Information Administration. Thank you very much, and have a lovely day.